All right, so here today, I really wanted to talk about this because yes, it's kind of weird, and I know people are gonna be like, dude, GoGo, really? A festival? We just went through a double festival. This same thing happens every single year, and every single year I tell you, yes, it's a fact. We're gonna get a festival in February, and people keep telling me, no, that doesn't make any sense. We just got a double festival. If you're new to the game, this is precedent. They've already done these things. They usually just mimic what they did last year, this year, mimic it this year, next year, mimic that year, the next year. If the game continues along, that's what they do. That is literally what Grand Cross does. So yes, most of this stuff is factual, and yes, it's probably most likely 1,000,000,000% happening. It's just, yes, we can say, oh, it'll be this, because they could, like, a minute chance change it. But again, do what you will with this information. Let's jump into it. If you're new to the channel, hey, like and subscribe, helps out a ton. Let's go through everything that you want to know, and let's see what we can cook up here. Cool. First things first, let's establish some facts here. Let's get some ground information laid down. So what they do every year is over here in February, the final week of February, it will always be a festival. Queen DN was 2022's festival unit, a unit that people always end up skipping, right? It's sadly the case, but a lot of people end up skipping this February festival. And why is that? It's just because of this. Queen DN was over here. Now, over in March, nothing happened other than Yorm, which was a must summon because of Demonic Beast. This year, we don't know what's going to happen, but then when it comes down over here to April, it is a collaboration. Now, this year, because we have a leak floating around that there exists to be a collab happening, we don't know if it's going to be in January, because it could be, because, you know, it potentially can. I don't think so, honestly. I don't know if it makes the fullest of sense, right? Just because they're working clearly on Salos and whatnot, so I think it's a catastrophe update this month, but who am I? I have no idea, right, at the end of the day? So there is that. But yeah, usually this fez gets skipped by a lot of people, and at the end of the day, it's kind of sad. But next year, or this year rather, maybe is not the best idea, because guess what? Last year, again in 2023, was Mael. People who skipped Mael have been crying in my comments for an entire year until Liz's rerun, and then everyone was, or Liz's launch, and everyone was like, dude, I need to summon to must summon banner. I need Mael. So if you want to avoid that thought process, just don't summon on the catastrophe, or it might be a collab, but if that's a collab, I'm telling you to summon, but we don't know, right? Let's say it is a catastrophe. Do not skip Mael this year, or whoever it is. Don't skip it. Stop. Like, everyone complains in my comments for days. Like, I'll make a guy that'll be like, oh, dog, that's not free to play because Mael was in there. That was literally, you won't believe me, but that was my guides between March all the way up until like when Liz launched. So that's where's Liz? Did they not include Liz? Oh, they didn't. Hawkinoss is what they ended. But until Liz launched, that is when they stopped commenting. Okay, now it's free to play because we had a chance to get her again, or get him again. But just don't skip it. But yeah, again, in last year, this is what it was over here, Mael. The year before, it was Queen Diane. This year, what are they gonna do? I wonder. First thing, we have a fact. They delayed Four Nights of the Apocalypse. It's gone, right? It's basically pushed back. Basically, this thing was the first half of the year roadmap, and they clearly said, we're pushing it back. We have to. We have to revise this plan. Initially, our plan was to conclude the story of Seven Deadly Sins by updating the New Year's Festival to run a new story, the Seven Deadly Sins Four Nights of Apocalypse, from early 2024, which many knights are looking forward to. During the process, we tried to prioritize the reproduction of the original story and preserve its quality to showcase a satisfactory result. The overall preparation took longer than expected. To minimize avoidance story, we had to unavoidably basically revise the plan for Seven Deadly Sins Final Chapter Update, which will now be separated and released within the first half of the year. So that final chapter that was going to be just one chapter, they're going to cut that into two parts. So you're going to get two small parts. Why this is going to be the case is because they just want to, so I think it's mainly they want to push back, and this is my speculation. Go ahead and jump on me if you want to, but I'm thinking it's not like a quality thing, or they're running low on dev team and they're just busy with other stuff. I really think that they just want to push this back, so when Origin launches, it's like they're doing Koa and all that stuff together, which would just be like a huge kind of promotion for both games. Genuinely, that's my thought process, because the more you push this back, the closer it is to Origin, and you can launch Origin with that Koa story, and this, it's like cross promo in itself. Like, you want to play the actual story, go to the game. You want to play a revised version of our own take on the story, play Origin, right? Like, it makes the most sense, but that's what they did. So they're taking the chapter that was going to be a one chapter thing, split it into two parts, and this is for the first half of the year. So when do we get our festivals this year, or for the first half of the year? It's clearly this. It's Transcendent Bond Spot, which is May, correct? Because again, that is the first half of the year, and the second spot is February. So you're going to get a Sin Festival February and a Sin Festival probably in May. Most likely that is the case. Now, that is not to say that March is the festival, or it's not a festival, right? They've clearly said that they want to take away Ragnarok Story and turn Ragnarok Story into festivals too. So I don't know if they're gonna like release a festival unit while releasing a 7 Deadly Sin story. That makes no sense. Like a Ragnarok festival, it makes no sense. So I'm still gonna say that there's a chance this year you get an additional festival, just because, correct? That exists, which is, you know, Ragnarok. And they said whenever they want to fit in a Ragnarok story, which the only parts of the year you can fit a Ragnarok story now is March, they want to make that sort of, you know, a festival thing, right? The only other time is over here in July, but it's like, or not July, where is it? Tier, so that's June. But again, it's like right into a festival or right after a festival or right before a festival. So I was like, are you really gonna do a double festival in like the summer? Again, before someone complains here and says like, dude, you're wrong, I'm just gonna make this clear. If they were to put a festival in, it's not an issue because I think most players can save for that. All they have to do to compensate for that is release a 300 gem login. Yes, 300 gem logins will always save you, but you also, like, for example, just make a Melifez and paste it there. Allow players to get a lot more gems. This festival had like 500 gems, bro. I don't think any player could have literally missed Elizabeth or Melly just because of how many gems were given. Like, there were a lot of gems, dog. There were like an insane amount of gems this entire update. Like, my gem guide was overfilling. Like, I was like, you know, I have to add all the values in to like make the 900 mark. I didn't have to. It was just so many gems. So if they do a similar thing, they can definitely do a double fez, but they better not like release a double fez and then proceed to not give gems for it, right? By double fez, I mean a fez into a fez, which is it shouldn't happen theoretically for a bit of time. Correct? Good. So that's there. Now, when it comes to who the unit could be, there's obviously 3 options. We have King of Chaos, Arthur. Are we ever going to get him? I don't know, bro. I want it to happen. I low-key want it to happen, but who knows? It would work. It would be sick. It could definitely function, and I would say, hey, that's an absolute W. They are releasing a human collaboration, so maybe, well, it could be human, it could be unknown. We'll have to see. They can do anything they want with it. I know people are saying, like, for a fact, no, they're unknown. No, they're human. You don't know until they release it, correct? In my opinion, it's 2 humans, 1 unknown. That's just the way I see it, but they could switch it up any way they wanted to, okay? So, King of Chaos, Arthur, character. We've been coping on this guy. It's like my yell cope. It's like we've been coping on him. He hasn't released yet. They also, people have been talking about comments like, oh, they can release a new Merlin, like Chaos Merlin or something like that. Don't know how true that is, but they could. Scarred Merlin with like the Escanor scar on her chin there. Again, can't really say it for a fact, but if you want like Chaos Merlin, let me know if that even can be an option. But my comments have said so, so wanted to kind of mention that. And then there's Baldur, but I don't know if they're gonna actually give us Baldur for a regular fez. This shouldn't be a Ragnarok fez. It should be clearly a Sins festival by my analysis. So we should be fine here. Like, we genuinely should be fine here. But if Baldur were to release, he is 10 out of 10. He has a stance first off, so that's there. And second, dude, he looks so freaking good. Do you see his ultimate? Watch his ultimate. I'm gonna just show you the ultimate. Like, this will sell you on him. I promise you. I promise you, this will sell him. This will. I'm telling you. Ready? Look at this. Look at this ult, dude. This ult was sick as hell. Here we go. Look at this, bro. Oh, man. He got the saber ult and everything. We get, like, every saber, like, every fate thing being, like, not a fate, but we never actually get the fate collab. That is such bullcrap. Till this day, I'll be depressed. But there you go. Look at that, dude. But yeah, Baldur. If we get him, I have no idea, but it should be just a Sin festival if it's one of these 2, or at least from the Sin story I'm trying to say. But could be somebody else. No idea. Let me know what you think. Who are other characters that are definitely available for a option? I'm curious, but that's what I wanted to share with you here today, just so you are aware. That's it. Take care. Have fun. Peace out. Cool.